Yo, what's going on, people? It is your boy Asher, aka Kanjo, and I'm back again with another reaction video. This time, we are reacting to What Culture Wrestling 10 Things WWE Wants You to Forget About the Usos. Alright, so the Usos are probably my second favorite tag team, my first favorite tag team of all time, that is. My first is the Hardy Boys, and then I'll say it will be the Usos. If you've been watching recently with the whole Bloodline saga, what's been going on, the Usos have been a very much strong vocal point within that storyline. They main evented WrestleMania 39 on night 1 this year, making it the very first time a tag team match has main evented WrestleMania, which is a huge milestone and a huge achievement. Since then, they've split. Jey Uso's gone to Raw. Jimmy Uso's stuck on SmackDown. Jey Uso's got new theme music. Jimmy Uso's got new theme music. Jey is now transitioning to be like a top babyface. I think Jimmy is a heel. I'm not sure what they're doing with Jimmy. I know what they're doing with Jey, but Jimmy, he's either in, he's out of the blood. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's going on, but I'm intrigued to find out where this is all leading to. Is it going to be a match one-on-one between Jimmy and Jey? What's going to happen? Is Rikishi going to get involved? I have no idea. But yeah, let's get into this video. We'll see what they want us to forget about the Usos, and yeah, we'll go from there. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to this channel, make sure you drop a comment down below about what this video is saying, and yeah, we'll go from there. Let's get it.
Are the Usos one of the best tag teams ever?
Yes.
Yes, they are. In ring, they proved that long ago, and they've used the last couple of years to finish that puzzle. Jimmy and Jey are great. Like all things in life and wrestling, there have to be ups and downs, though. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
So here's 10 things WWE wants you to forget about the Usos. Number 10, who Jimmy's wife is. Now, that wording is slightly unfair, but it does tie in because, yeah, Jimmy Uso's wife is none other than Naomi, now Trinity. We all know that her and Sasha Banks walked out on WWE after falling out with management, and if you do cast your mind back, yep, Naomi was the manager for the Usos in 2014.
And since then, Sasha Banks has gone over to New Japan Wrestling. Trinity is now the Knockouts champion in Impact Wrestling. So I feel like they both kind of define themselves outside of WWE. If they come back to WWE, time to tell. But I hope Trinity does come back. I hope Trinity does come back to the WWE. I feel like she's better suited in the WWE than outside of it. But yeah, we'll see.
That kind of happened again in 2019 as she was back to tell Mandy Rose to stop hitting on her husband, which brings us to the modern day, because man, something was brewing. For you see, in some interviews, Jimbo started to mention that sure, maybe Naomi could be the next person to join the bloodline, and then she left the company. Whoops. So if that was part of the plan, WWE has now gone out of their way to try and make you forget, because it ain't happening. Also, let's face it, the powers that be want all of this gone from your mind. The whole situation sounded awfully mishandled. Number 9, Jimmy Uso on commentary. In 2020, Jimmy was injured. We all remember this is when Jey got his first singles push, and it was good. There was something here that we didn't realize. 5 years prior to this, though, the roles had been reversed, and I suppose because the Usos were still finding their way, WWE decided to put James on commentary. This wasn't...
I think out of the two brothers, in my opinion anyway, I feel Jimmy was the more charismatic out of the two. But since this whole bloodline thing's been going on, I'm starting to see Jey is a bit more charismatic than Jimmy. Or it just could be like how they're being told to be to portray their characters on TV. But from the earlier days, it did look like Jimmy was the more charismatic out of the two. But now it looks like the roles have kind of switched a little bit.
For one match either. It was a pretty good stint. Now, I thought it was hilarious because Jimmy was just having the time of his life, but quite clearly, this isn't what WWE wanted, and you could see and feel it. I would guess that somebody was yelling into his ear a lot. Honestly, though, based on this, today we should let Jim run wild as a singles guy, but again, 2015 was a very different time, and they just weren't seen that way, although I think very, very soon we may finally get it. Number 8, the jump back to NXT. WWE didn't know what they had when the Usos debuted. Same time, Jimmy and Jay were still figuring it all out. We've seen this a lot. It's called growing as a wrestler. Their first feud was with the Hart Dynasty, which was okay at best, but all of a sudden the twins were shifted to NXT, where that program was a game show. And yes, you heard that right. It meant they would mentor some rookies while still appearing on Raw and SmackDown, but then in 2012 this became the proper developmental brand, with the decision being made that the Usos needed more experience. Seemed wild. The thing is, when you do turn the clock back, this was like the right call, because look at what happened in the end. It's not like they fell off a cliff. They wound up main eventing WrestleMania. What was mad is that around this time they kept losing to the Ascension and the Primetime Players, 2 teams that aren't even around anymore. Number 7, the pre-show specialists. WWE doesn't really ramp.
They done a lot of pre-shows. The main one I remember was them against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. I can't remember which year it was. I'm going to say 2013 or... yeah, 2013. That was a great match. A very, very great match.
And matches onto a pre-show anymore, but there was a period where they absolutely loved it. Apparently, they also thought Jimmy and Jay would benefit from such things. Because before the Bloodline existed, the Usos had 60 matches on premium live events, with 15 of those coming before the official start time. The real kicker with this is that some of these were at WrestleMania, so let's be honest. Here, at the grandest stage of them all, Vince McMahon didn't think they were worthy of a main card spot. Sure, you've got to earn your stripes, but still. I would guess a large reason for this is due to Vince's dislike for tag team wrestling, which still doesn't make any sense, especially as that's been long documented and it's crazy. I mean, it's the simplest way to break up a show, and when done right, it is wonderful. If you really do want to get the chat going, though, the New Day were actually only on 5 pre-shows, but this is where I check out. What the comment section is for, see ya. Number 6, Jimmy's title match. When Roman Reigns became the Universal Champion, his first challenger was Jey Uso. You'll remember this. It was great. Jimmy had a huge say in the results, as during the first clash he threw in the towel to save his...
These were some of the best matches in the Thunderdome era. The best matches. The storytelling was crazy. The storytelling was crazy.
Brother, and in the second he got attacked by Roman, forcing Jay to give in. That was pretty damn good storytelling. While this could change at some point though, and maybe very soon after you hear this, we've never got Reigns versus Jimmy in a championship match. It seemed weird back then, as Jimbo would not fall in line, and then all of a sudden he just did. And today there's even more reason. He booted the tribal chief in the skull.
Like I said, I don't know what's going on with Jimmy at the moment, but it's confusing as hell. It's confusing. If it comes down to Jimmy versus Roman for a title match some way down the line in the near future, great. But if it doesn't, what was the point? He initiated the whole split with the bloodline just for him to... I didn't get told I was out of the bloodline, so I'm in the bloodline. Well, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
As of me speaking, it does feel like the twins are finally moving away from the bloodline arc to do their own feud, which I love. But I do feel like this is a missed opportunity. Everybody in the line of blood should have got a crack against Roman. Hopefully I'm just getting ahead of myself. It does feel important. Number 5, that feud with the Revival. You wouldn't be able to get away with this now. We've done so much good work. And yet this kind of madness would undo it. But when the Usos and the Revival finally came face to face, Vince McMahon decided that silliness was the name of the game. I'm not sure that it worked, and I flubbing love goofy wrestling. All you had to do was give them some microphones and let them wrestle, but instead, we chose Usi Hot. Once again, your ears do not deceive you. If you weren't around for this too, it's exactly as it sounds. Jimmy and Jay snuck into Dash and Dawson's locker room, infected their things with a cream, which meant the Revival's groins started to boil over.
Dead.
I don't know how else to say it.
Dead.
It meant that now FTR had to act like their penises were on fire in the ring, although seriously, fair play to them, they accepted their role, and they threw themselves into it. Now I am the first person to back comedy in wrestling, but 1, not when you have this on the table, and 2, it wasn't funny at all. It was stupid. Number 4, all that Total Diva nonsense. So I did like Total Divas. As soon as you accept that it's not reality TV, it is all scripted, you can just enjoy it for what it is. Dumb fun. 2 of the main characters were Jimmy and Naomi, to the point we even saw them have some sort of wedding in January 2014. All their friends and family were there because, of course, except for one notable person, Rikishi. Jim's dad, ruh-roh. The story was that Papa Oos didn't support this coming together because Trinity wasn't of Samoan descent. And then as soon as the show was canned, they all come out and said, we only did this for the series and everything is cool. So that is ridiculous. I mean, who on earth were they trying to fool? Number 3, then.
I'm calling Cap. Well, obviously it was Cap, but the Usos, both of their wives are black. Solo's wife is black as well, I think. I just think they have a thing for black girls, not gonna lie, which is all good. It's all good. But yeah, that wedding was all Cap. Like, why would he not turn to the wedding just because she was of Samoan descent? It doesn't make no sense.
Their debut
No sense.
was alright, which ain't the best word when you want to talk about a debut. It is quite strange because WWE is very good at introducing new talent, from John Cena to Chris Jericho, but when it came to the Usos, it sort of just happened. Going down as the Hart Dynasty mucked around with Vladimir Kozlov, Jimmy J and Tamina, and don't you know there is nobody meaner, rushed the ring and took out the WWE Tag Team Champions. As Natalya was there too, they did a very impressive triple splash, but with silence from the fans and little hype commentary, this fell flat, almost intentionally so. The feeling was almost one of, who is this? And it's why today you never see it in the best debuts ever list. They weren't even given a chance. Seeing what the Usos have become today just proves that they were totally miscast here.
Facts.
It's all a learning curve, and man,
Facts.
did we ever learn.
That just
Number
sense.
2, main event
Crazy.
Jey Uso. Jey Uso earned this nickname. When everything went nuts and Roman Reigns needed an opponent during the pandemic,
Why is this
his
forgotten?
cousin stepped up and the feud was great. It totally transformed how some people saw the tag team specialists. The thing is, while they did go at it, Jey just lost over and over and over again. Yep. So while he made it to the top, he didn't get any success off the back of it as Roman just wrecked him. What does that sound like? And look, the storytelling was ace, so who really cares?
Exactly.
But don't act like WWE doesn't want you to remember this when you've got Jey shouting at the head of the table that he's main event Jey. Because yeah, he is, but his record is also 0-3. Whoops. I suppose you did need to do it this way to make the whole thing work, but if you did start watching WWE in 2023 and went back to this period, I'd be a little bit shocked that this is what we were referring to. Number 1, trouble with the law. So I do not like commenting on such things. A human's personal demons can be triggered by many events, and addiction is a terrible thing. It can consume lives. Sadly, Jimmy Uso has been in trouble with the law 4 times since 2012, and a lot of these have been drink driving incidents. Pulled over by the police too, and of course, if the worst had happened, and it didn't, innocent bystanders could have been caught up in this. A really bad situation came out in 2019 where Jim did not take kindly to this and wanted to fight the cops, leading to one officer pulling out a taser to calm him down. Sheesh. This was diffused and Jimmy got arrested, but still, you just don't want it. I'm not sure if the Usos ever got internally disciplined by WWE for these issues, but it did stop them entering Canada for a while. It's not exactly ideal when your job is a traveling pro wrestler. I just really do hope he's in a better place today and we don't have any more of these incidents. Do not forget that your mental health is very important. Know of anything else that WWE wants us to forget about the Usos? Make sure you let us know in the comments below before you like the video, share the video, and hey, why not subscribe? Then you can head over to whatcoach.com.
Great video. Great video. I don't know if the second on, well, number 2 on the list was about main event Jey Uso. Why would they want us to forget about main event Jey Uso? That doesn't make no sense. But yeah, he is 0-3, not gonna lie. I did think at SummerSlam he would have won. I was one of those delusional fans thinking he was gonna win. I would have betted my house on Jey Uso winning at SummerSlam, but he lost in a pretty underwhelming tribal combat match. Not gonna lie, the build up to it was great, but the match itself is a little bit off. But yeah, great video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below in the comments your favorite moments from the Usos, or a moment that you think they didn't put in the list that you remember down below. And yeah, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and all those good things there. Yeah, cool. Until next time, love is love, wash your things, and peace. Yeet.